Good evening, everyone. What's up? I am Ben Klein, commissioner of the Hardcore Challenge. Welcome to another edition of Hardcore Challenge Live. Tonight is our Week 6 recap edition. Going to break down all of the awesomeness, everything that occurred in the Hardcore Challenge in Week 6. First up, let's give out our call-in number if anybody wants to use it. What have you, save it. It's not going to change. Same number I've had for 8 years, so it's probably not going to change. Alrighty, so let's get right into it. It was another great week in the Hardcore Challenge, as the league was full of very, very close games. The scores were down across the board, as only 3 teams broke 150 this week. This hat, let me break in right there, because you made a comment about my hat. This is for the Sunshine State Swing, the road games that the Raiders are playing the next 2 weeks, so I thought I would wear the road jersey and rock the tropical hat for the Sunshine State Swing. So there you go, Mr. T-Well. So there you go. As I was saying, 3 teams only broke 150 this week. Several games, including mine, went down to the wire on Monday Night Football. I went completely down to the wire. The last touchdown of what would typically be garbage time, but it was never garbage time in fantasy football, as I was told earlier. So let's get right into our recap. Starting with the Wild West Division, we see Stinky Pinky coming off a huge win over Des Cottet. Des Cottet needed that to keep pace. That drops him back a little bit. Stinky Pinky moves up to 4-2. As King Salami and Tama Tears both lose ground, falling to 3-3, and are now a game back. What looked like was a very tight division kind of shifted within 1 week, as Stinky Pinky claimed the top spot. Now Donkey Punch can't seem to pick a quarterback. If they pick Mariota, Tyrod Taylor blows up. If they pick Tyrod Taylor, Mariota blows up. It's happened every week for about the past 3 or 4 weeks, and it's cost them 3 games in a row. And they're in a tailspin because they can't pick a quarterback. They missed it again this week, and that cost them the game again. Now, the Dirty South is becoming interesting, as They See Me Rollins is at 5-1. Now they are number 3 on the power rankings. But they have a surgeon, Beaver Street Roar, right behind them, who has won 4 straight. They are one of the hottest teams in the league right now, and this division race is getting interesting. Looks like Rollins might have ran away with it at the beginning, but that is not the case. Renegade Misfits and Des Cottet are sitting not too far back at 3-3, so they are definitely not out of the conversation yet. And actually, Big Mac Attack has won 2 straight, 2-4, and I've got a favorable matchup this week too. So if I can win this week, I'm really not out of the conversation yet. Damn near out of the conversation, but not completely out. Not if I win this week. We'll see. Now, we can't talk about the other 2 divisions without talking about our game of the week. The game of the week was between I'm Thinking Arby's and Pale Horseman. My prediction was for a blowout, and I'd picked Arby's to win. Man, was I right. Arby's put the boots to Pale Horseman. They might even lost a few teeth. Arby's posted 214 on them with a margin of victory of 113 points, which, without going all the way back and looking, I'm pretty sure that's a game of the week record, and that could possibly be a margin of victory record, period, for the league. 113 point ass whipping is an ass whipping, and especially when it's the game of the week and the guy that caught the ass whipping was 5-0 coming in. That's a beatdown. And it happened in the game of the week. So, my prediction was correct. That moves me to 5-1 in my game of the week predictions. My game of the week predictions are doing a hell of a lot better than my fantasy team. But, hey, whatever. That moves I'm Thinking Arby's into number 1 on our power rankings, moves them into number 1 in scoring in the league, and into a full 2-game lead in the Great White North Division. Tom is out to a stellar start again, obviously. Shocking. So obviously the first loss of the season is not going to kill Pale Horsemen. They're still 5-1. They still hold a full 2-game lead over the rest of their division. So it's nothing to really panic about yet. You've got Oski Assassins and Cheesehead sitting behind them at 3-3. Cheesehead has won back-to-back games and will be crossing their fingers, obviously, as the stat corrections come out tomorrow morning. Because when you've only got a 1-point victory, we've seen it happen earlier in the season. When you had a tie and somebody ended up with a win and somebody ended up with a loss when we thought we had a tie in week 1. So it could happen again. You always got to watch them stat corrections on Wednesday morning when you got them damn 1-point games. So, Corey, Skull Crushers, Cheesehead, I would be watching that. Watch some stat corrections tomorrow. You never know. Crazier things could happen. Now, we got one other team in this division. That would be the 5-3 Bandits. Now, we have their owner, Willie, on the phone. Mr. Willie Weems. What's up, Willie? How's it going?
Hey, how you doing? How you doing?
All right, Willie. You're one of 2 new owners in the league this season. You've had 6 games in this league so far. What's your first impression? What do you think so far?
You know what? Compared to a lot of other leagues that I've been involved with and joined, I must say that this one is a lot more competitive, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. You know, a lot of fun.
Good. I'm happy to hear that. So I felt your pain last night as I watched David Johnson eat up all the points. Luckily for me, Palmer scored late, but unluckily for you, he didn't throw it to Fitzgerald. So it kind of cost you the game. So I'll let you put it in your own words. What went wrong with the 5-3 Bandits this week?
Man, you know, I made the wrong substitution. One of my players that had on the bench had almost 28 points or something. I believe it was my tight end Fleener. And
yep.
It always happens like that, you know. It's one of the guys you debate about, should I start him or should I sit him? And I kept debating about it as I was at work cutting hair, and I didn't start him, and then it cost me the game.
Yeah, that's usually how my luck works out too. Absolutely. So you came out rough this week. You came out rough out of the gate a little bit. You dropped your first 3, but then you bounced back, had them 2 big wins. You scored pretty good even in a couple of the ones you'd lost, so you'd actually been looking pretty good. Are you going to switch anything up coming into this week? You got some injuries, so are you going to switch anything up? Because Big Ben went down for you, I think.
Man, not only did Big Ben go down, but Vincent Jackson went down as well. Since the beginning of this season, I've lost a lot of guys to IR, from Chris Johnson to Charles Sims for the Bucks to now Vincent Jackson. I believe I had one other player, Decker. He went down to IR. So it's like I've been getting slapped in the face left and right. So I got to do my homework, do a little research, and hopefully, if none of you other guys take any of my players, hopefully I can grab them guys, because I'm always on the bottom of the waiver wire. So we'll see.
Yeah, but sometimes I've got the same problem. Is I have a problem where I got to get somebody off the waiver wire. But if you don't take somebody off the waiver wire, then everybody else takes spots off the waiver wire. Then you jump way up. So if you can manage to not be greedy and try not to jump in there, take the scraps a couple times, you can jump clear up that waiver wire, and then you can just sit there and hold that number 1 till you get that diamond.
Advice well taken. I would take that advice. Another thing that's been hurting me is I don't have a running game. I'm strong in every other area. I'm pretty confident. My receiving core is okay. It's suspect now, but prior to all the injuries, I never really had a running game from the beginning of the season. So that's been my Achilles heel.
Yeah. I all of a sudden discovered a running game this week. I have no idea where Ajayi had been all season, but man, he showed up this week for me. Man, in a big way. So,
yeah.
So this week is the biggest game of your season so far. You've got the Beaver Street Roars 4-2. They're on a 4-game winning streak. They just posted the second highest score of the week this past week. What is your prediction for this week's game?
You know, I was looking at the boards, and I always like how it gives the projections on who's going to have many points. So it shows that they're going to beat me by like 30 points. I think it's going to be close. I believe I'm going to win. I would like to win, but it's going to be under 10 points if I do win. I'm hoping one of his guys go down during one of the course of the games, but I'm hoping that I'll pull it out because I need it.
All right. Willie's rooting for injuries. I heard it. All right.
That's right.
So, is there anything you would like to say to your opponent, Mr. Matt Heron, owner of the Beaver Street Roar, prior to the big matchup this weekend? The floor is yours.
Hey, what I want to say is, sometimes, people get to the top, but you got to fall down. And like you said, my name is Will. If there's a will, there's a way I'm going to make that happen, buddy. So you better watch out, buddy, because I'm coming for you, buddy. I'm going to keep scratching and clawing to the end of the season, so I'm not giving up yet.
Right on. All right. Thank you, Willie. Thanks for joining us, man. Appreciate it. Thank you for taking your time out and joining us. All right. So, there you heard it. Willie's predicting a close game. He didn't come right out and say he's going to win, though. So, I think that was very political of him. He did, however, say he's rooting for some injuries. So, Matt, hope none of you guys are feeling gimpy. Willie may have a wicked voodoo on him. Never know. So, I have to go with the track record in big games on this one. I just have a hard time picking against Matt, but Willie may have his number, so we will see. I'm not going to make no predictions on this one. I save my predictions for games of the week and playoff games. Those are the only ones that count. So, we'll just let them fight it out on this one. Now, typically don't throw this segment in, but I want to touch on this right quick. I know we've got some, obviously some new viewers that typically don't have. As you'll see when you go to this group page, there's a post pinned at the top. That pinned post contains a video inside of it. That video is basically an advertisement for the Hardcore Challenge, the league that is expanding next season. We are adding a total of 12 owners. Now, some of those spots are already gone. In our AFC division, the 16-team AFC division, we currently have 2 spots left in the Great White North. We currently have 2 spots left in the Elite East division. The Wild West division is full. We've added a new owner, Brett Marsh, with a team name to be determined. He was recruited by Ben Meffley, Stinky Pinky. The position that was open in the Dirty South of the AFC is tentatively filled, but I'm not releasing that name just yet. In the NFC, the Great White North has 1 spot left. In the NFC Elite East, we added Brian Gardner, name to be determined later. And the NFC Dirty South has been filled by Chris Rhodes, who will be the owner of Jameis Christ, and Larry Thompson, who will be the owner of the Dirt Dogs. That fills out Willie Weems, owner of 5THREE Bandits, and Joe Dudinsky, owner of DeGents. Actually, excuse me, that name has been changed to They See Me Rollin'. So, right now, we only have 7 spots left available. So, if you are interested, you know somebody that's interested, they're going to be on a first-come, first-served basis. You do got to meet our criteria. You got to be up to the task. You can't just be, we don't want you to play one season, play half the season, realize you can't hang. It's too intense. It's too involved. And you walk away. We don't need that kind of owner. We don't want that kind of owner. So, please, if you think you are up to the challenge, you've played fantasy football before, you know what fantasy football is about, you want a little higher level of competition, step up to the plate. Let's hear it. All right. Remember, all trades need 48-hour approval time from the minute they post. No exceptions. Trade deadline is less than 4 weeks away, people. November 11th. Time to start planning any moves if you're making a playoff push. You two with the gray helmets. Tama Tears. King Salami, get a freaking logo. Week 7 is here. Are you ready for the challenge? Good luck. Game on.